What's up guys, welcome to another video. Welcome to the 10 to 15 of you that actually choose to click on my videos and find them mildly entertaining. I mean the rest of the views just come from me and my mates clicking the refresh button constantly. That's pretty much what we do with our day. We don't actually go to work, we just sit at home clicking refresh on the YouTube videos to get lots of views, and sometimes when I don't have many views it's because we just can't be bothered, or we're in the gym. So let's move on to the topic of the video, which is a Q&A, which is basically when a YouTuber completely runs out of content or they don't have time to make a proper video, so they resort to doing a Q&A on Instagram, and that's exactly what I've done today. So I put the question out there for you to answer. No, you put the question out there for me to answer. Going well. Okay, the first question is, once I can find them, I will be doing this while I'm playing a load of raw footage from today's workout as well, so it's literally every single movement that I did, so you can actually see everything that I've done today in the gym if you care. So let's go to the very first question, which is, will there be any more funny moments? I don't know. Don't really know what that means. I'm guessing, I'm taking that as a compliment that you probably find the videos funny, but I don't know, I can't guarantee that. I mean, humour's subjective at the end of the day, so that's up to you. Next question is, how much do you reckon you'll add to your deadlift on the deadlift bar? I mean, the early signs are definitely good. It's feeling really nice on the deadlift bar. I haven't really trained for a long period of time using a deadlift bar before, but I think once I really get used to it, I think I can probably add, it's hard to say really because I haven't really lifted anything heavy, but early estimations, probably sort of 10, 15, even 20 kilos. I think 300 kilos is going to be very tough, but I am silently confident that I might get round about that, so we'll wait and see. What I'm going to do anyway is max out my deadlift on the deadlift bar, and then maybe a few days later actually go for a deadlift max on the stiff bar, and then you can see like a real difference to what a deadlift bar actually makes. So there's the answer there. So the next question is, what made you want to start competing in powerlifting? I just add that I haven't actually read any of these questions yet, so I may have to think about the answers somewhat. Okay, thought of it. So what made me want to get into competing in powerlifting was a couple of mates that I met in the gym a few years ago that started powerlifting and sort of introduced me to powerlifting, I suppose, and they said that they did competitions. So then, from then really, I just literally typed into Google UK powerlifting or British powerlifting, and British powerlifting was, or it was GBPF at the time, was one of the first things that came up. So I just had a little scroll through that, found a local meet down in Tiverton, and attended that. So I just rocked up. I was following the Johnny Candito 6-week program. A lot of people were probably on that originally when they first started powerlifting. I was exactly the same. So yeah, I did that, went down to my first meet and came third out of 3 people. So got a medal in my first competition with a 450 kilo total at 83 kilos body weight. So yeah, that's that. The next question is, what do you feel is the hardest part of powerlifting as a hobby / sport? Keep up the good work, bro. Thanks, mate. The hardest part about powerlifting as a hobby and sport is how long it takes and how much it pretty knackers you out. The amount it costs, so it's expensive. That's obviously the hardest part, actually being able to financially support your hobby of powerlifting. It's time consuming, so like I said, going to the gym for 2 or 3 hours at a time, sort of 4 to 5 times a week, sometimes more. Obviously going to competitions, that's a bit time consuming as well, but yeah, just generally it's quite time consuming, and yeah, just it's very fatiguing on your body. So you can go into work the next day and you'll just be really aching, you'll be a little bit lethargic. Say you've just done a max out session on your squat or your deadlift and you're just feeling absolutely shattered. So it affects you outside of just being in the gym, just with recovery and that sort of thing. So have I gone off on a tangent there. What do you feel is the hardest part? Yeah, so those are the three things. I think financially it's quite an expensive sport because you don't really get paid for it. It's an amateur sport. It takes a long time to do and just everything like that. And just how generally tiring and fatigued and hurt it makes you. So yeah, moving on. Why does it feel as if I've stopped building muscle? What can I do about it? It feels as if I can't get bigger. Okay, so it probably means that you might have used up your newbie gains. Newbie gains, that's where literally you could pretty much just look at a weight and you'll start putting on muscle. The other thing is you may not be in a caloric surplus, so you may be still at maintenance and not eating enough. So you may be doing, because I know that you play rugby, so you might be doing a lot of extra sport and that sort of thing, so using a lot of calories, and therefore that is eating away at the potential of building more muscle. So actually doing a little bit less cardio might be something to consider. And the other thing is just to remember that you've got to progressively overload your muscles if you want them to grow. You can't do the same weight every time you go to the gym. You've got to be adding weight in the form of the weight itself or reps and sets, and then I can guarantee as long as you're in a surplus you will be building muscle. Okay, moving on to the next question. How comes you started cheating with a deadlift bar and straps? So I haven't resorted to using the straps yet. I just wanted to buy them as a way of just, when my grip is starting to get a little bit banged up, actually use the straps. So actually for my top sets and a lot of my back down sets, I am actually just doing mixed grip still. So how comes I've decided to use a deadlift bar? Purely because I just wanted to try a deadlift bar, to be honest. I was just really curious about what I could put up with a deadlift bar. And it's surprising the amount of people that have actually sent me things saying, oh, it's cheating, but yeah, maybe it is a little bit, but it's a deadlift at the end of the day. You've got to get the weight off the floor, so yeah, I mean, obviously I'm a British powerlifter in terms of an IPF affiliate, so I understand that it is kind of cheating, as in it does give you leverage and it helps you with your leverages, but at the end of the day, it's all a little bit fun. Just want to see what I can get with the deadlift bar. What are you going to hit on Saturday? And this is Joel Clark Training, so I'm meeting up with Joel on Saturday, as well as Poverty Bench Pete and Marriott Performance, and we're going to be going up to super training and doing a deadlift session. So what am I going to hit? I'm going to go for a max, is what I would say to Ben if I wanted to slap her on the face. No, I'm going to be sticking to my program. I'm going for 205 kilos for 5 reps. So I am still progressively overloading the deadlift. I don't want to jump up too high. So last week I did 190 for 5, so that was ridiculously easy. So we're going up to 205 for 5, so we are just building it up, and when obviously it starts getting a little bit heavier and a little bit harder, naturally the reps will start coming down and the intensity will be going up, as is the way with powerlifting programming. Okay, so next question is, how many grams of protein do you aim for per day? Good question. I always aim for around about 200, but I always inevitably fall short, because I normally only have about 2 meals a day. I don't really know why, I've always done that. I normally skip breakfast, so I'll have lunch around about 12:30 when I break for lunch at work. Have around about 1,000 to 1,500 calories then, where I have a good chunk of protein. I'll aim for sort of 50-60 grams of protein, and then normally after work I'll go straight to the gym and I won't eat. So by the time I've actually got home, it's around about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then because I've been in the gym, I'm not like really hungry and I'm not craving a massive meal. So really I need to just restructure the way I eat my meals. So I should just be having breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, gym, then food after the gym. That way I can spread my food out a bit better and actually get in a more decent amount of protein. So I aim, sorry, camera turned off. So yeah, I aim for 200, but inevitably I always do fall short. This is a good question. Favorite lift and why? So some people may be able to relate to this answer, but it is literally whatever's feeling good at the time. Maybe not bench. So it's kind of between squat and deadlift. They're my 2 favorite lifts, but really whatever is feeling good at the time. So in a block of training, if squats are feeling amazing, that is then my favorite lift. If deadlifts are feeling amazing, then that's obviously my favorite lift. So at the moment, deadlifts are my favorite lifts. I I'm really enjoying my deadlift training, especially with this deadlift bar. But that being said, I think my best lift is probably my squat, just in proportion to my bench and my deadlift. I think a 242 squat, is that what my best squat is? Can't even remember what my best squat is. 242. That compared to a 275 deadlift, I think is actually pretty decent. I don't know, but I think it is quite decent compared to my deadlift. So yeah, probably my squat. I mean, the squat's the most dangerous movement, and that's what I kind of like. It's the one where I have to really get hyped up, and you can like headbutt the bar and things like that. So that's probably the one I favour the most, just because I can get the most hyped up and get the most adrenaline from. So the last question is, would you ever consider dieting down to the 83s, getting shredded, but then also bettering your best 93 total? That's a good question. 83s, I don't think I'm ever going to weigh 83 kilos again. And if I did, I would look horrendous. My arms would be like, I would look like, what is it called? Slender Man. I think I would look like Slender Man. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Slender Man. I think I'd look like that. I'd just be skinny fat because I can't diet properly, so I still have a tubby belly. I'd have skinny arms. Look horrendous, and then I'd bulk back up being even more skinny fat and probably not even beat my 93 kilo total. So no, in short, I am not going to diet down to 83, but I am definitely at some point gonna diet down to below 90 and see how I look then. I mean, this is Rob asking the question, so I'm definitely not gonna look as good as you when you're down at 90 kilos, because not gonna lie, you look pretty good. But yeah, I'm definitely not gonna look that good. So yeah, we'll see, maybe. Anyway, those are all the questions, and I managed to do all of that in one take. We're trying to get this all in one take, so let's try and make that happen. Thank you, Tiny. Okay, so that's the video done, just a nice quick Q&A while looking at just my training footage for today. So training went fine today, there was nothing really spectacular to report. Apart from bench press, I am now starting to feel that bench is starting to suffer just with my body weight, because I am down to 101 kilos now. So I have lost weight, and relatively quickly I've lost quite a lot of weight. So now I'm starting to notice the leverage on the bench press. So yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I'm not worrying too much about it because obviously I'm doing a sort of deadlift only prep and just trying to maintain my bench. So not too worried, but yeah, I'm just noticing that, I suppose. But luckily deadlifts actually are feeling stronger. Maybe it's because it's the deadlift bar, I don't know, but they are feeling really good at the moment, and I am feeling very optimistic about the few weeks ahead and what I'm going to be hitting. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Thank you for supporting the channel as always. Please leave it a thumbs up if you have enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace. It's a good tune.